A predator is scanning, constantly scanning for weaknesses. And youth is a weakness. It's not a weakness, obviously.
Hey bestie, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about men and their predatory ways. I'll come back with my commentary later. Don't forget, if you like this video, subscribe, share, like, and please keep it respectful in the comment section. I would like to hear your thoughts.
A predator is scanning, constantly scanning for weaknesses. And youth is a weakness. It's not a weakness, obviously, but it's a chink in your armor. It's a weak spot. You don't have the data to look at behaviors and be like, I know what that adds up to. You might not. You've never seen it. That's an uncharted territory. Your friends have never dated someone like that. You're blinded by things. A guy who's 26 preying on a 17-year-old is cool because he can buy alcohol. Another 26-year-old woman's like, cool. Like, you have 4 roommates? 17-year-old, she has 2 roommates. It's her parents. So the fact that he lives alone, wow. And the 17-year-old's not stupid. She's just green. She's exactly where she needs to be. He is not where he needs to be. And other 26-year-old girls know that. And that's why they're like, no thanks. So he's got to go younger and younger until he finds a sweet spot of women who cannot identify all of his deficiencies because they haven't had the experience yet.
Either the predator or the prey. And I'm not nobody's prey, okay? So in this world, you are the predator or the prey. Always be the predator. If you're not the predator, then you're the prey. And if you run into a guy who thinks he's the predator and you think you're the predator, usually the woman wins anyway because we have what they really want. What they really want. So, and especially if you look good and you're not a pick-me, you will always win. You always win. If you're a pick-me, you might fall for the okie doke and you might fall victim to their game. But if you are not a pick-me and you know how to play the game you invented, let me repeat that. You know how to play the game you invented, then you're always going to win. Okay?
I really need to talk about Risa Tisa because she's an admirable and amazing woman, but she possesses the 4 personality traits that make her most vulnerable to predators, to sociopaths, to narcissists. Many of us have the same kinds of traits, but in watching all 50 videos of Risa Tisa, whom I love, and she's such a great storyteller, I have a sense that she has these 4 qualities. Okay, first of all, empathetic women. Women who are highly compassionate and empathetic and emotionally intelligent are easy marks for guys because they know that these women will have a well of compassion when they play the victim card, and they will put that other person's needs above their own. That's what we compassionate people do. Secondly, I think she had a very good sense of morality. She knew what was right and what was wrong. Of course, she was trying to make sense of his lies to try to figure out what was really happening. But when people have high moral standards for themselves, it's really difficult for them to imagine that somebody else could be completely immoral. It's like out of their realm because they themselves are such a good person. Third, a little bit of religiosity. She was raised faith-based, as she says, and people who have a faith have to be able to hold on to hope because you have to believe something that you can't see. And so they use those same tools, unfortunately, with the predators. And, of course, he led her on by making sure he paid the rent and the utilities at the beginning. So he made her think, well, if he's already put in this, then maybe the car and the house are coming because he keeps saying they are, and he didn't let me down before. So easily they're able to imagine that things will get better. And finally, smart, successful women are easy targets. And here's why. These predators, whether they be narcissists or sociopaths or whatever, want the qualities that we have. Oh yeah, they'll break us down emotionally in order to get those qualities. But here was a woman who was on her feet, had her townhouse, had her car, had her job, had emotional intelligence. He wanted all of that. So What do we do to protect ourselves from guys like this? Well, obviously, slow down. She didn't have that option. We were all quarantined. I know it was a hard time. Slow down. And also use other people's eyes. Make sure that your friends and family meet this person. But just as important, make sure you meet their friends and family, because you'll be able to tell a lot about them just by little glances or eye rolls or whatever they do. And pay attention to the messages that they're silently sending to you. I believe love is good. It's out there. It's a decision we make. We don't fall in love. That's called getting high on the neurochemistry of love. We take a step towards love in a clear, intentional way by investigating. This is not to put down Risa Tisa. I love her. And you know why we all love her? Because she could be us any day.
She nailed it.
Knowing how a predator thinks is the most important skills in dating and in life today. By diving into their mindset, you can stay safe, aware, and empowered. Think about an empath and a narcissist. They both had trauma growing up. While empaths use their past trauma to empathize and heal others, predators, like narcissists, use it as an excuse to manipulate and harm. Be mindful that manipulators, they have discernment, and it doesn't come from God. When they are meeting new people, they are assessing you. For example, they will give you a compliment to see if you have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Remember, they don't know you. Even though you are amazing, you are intelligent and smart, they don't know it yet. When you are confident, whether people are clapping for you or booing you, it will not matter to you because you know who you are, and that does not waver. However, people who are building their confidence are not there yet because it's a process, right? They will deny a compliment. They will say, oh, no, I'm not that. I just learned it. Or you will not be able to stand in that confidence, and they will feel it. When they're meeting you in person, they will look at your body language. If you're playing with your hair a lot, it shows that you're not that confident, you're nervous. If you're touching your clothes, that means you are insecure about something. They will assess everything to determine how easy you can be manipulated. In the show 2.5 Men, there's a scene where Charlie and his nephew Jake, they go on a double date. There's an older woman, Charlie's date, and her daughter, and Jake is nervous. And Charlie turns around to him and tells him, you better pray that she has low self-esteem and poor judgment. When you are confident, you are growth-minded, and you're not afraid to lose people, especially people who are not for you. They know, they feel it. Work on your confidence and build everything from within.
Girl, most women are actually really scared of men, and they have a right to be because men are super scary because many of them are predators. And so what I wanted to do as a dating coach for almost 15 years and as your fairy godbrother is to share with you some of the signs that a lot of these male predators are looking for when they're trying to date you to see if they can exploit you, manipulate you, and just take control and advantage of you. Okay? So first, let's talk about reactions. They're always going to be looking at your reaction. So they will often test you by saying something a little bit disrespectful, teasing you, or a joke. You're going to have to set a boundary immediately and let them know how it makes you feel. That hurt my feelings. That made me uncomfortable. They will also compliment you, and they will look to your reaction. If you are minimizing it or saying, no, I'm not beautiful, right? Or you're acting like you've never had a compliment before in your life. Oh my God, thank you so much. This is so nice of you. I can't believe you're saying this. They already got you, girl. Okay, so they're looking at your reactions to how they are communicating with you. The other reaction that they're looking for is if they're going to ask you for a favor. They're going to ask you maybe for money, for a ride to the airport, maybe even career advice, right? Please don't give it to them. Don't give them anything. They want to see, is she going to give to me? Because real men that are in their masculine energy, they want to give to you. They don't want to take from you. Okay? Now, let's talk about what you say in your words. So if you're saying a lot of, I don't know, he already knows that he has you. Because it means that you're not checking in with yourself, that your head and your heart are disconnected. If you're saying a lot of self-deprecating things and humor, oh no, I'm not that smart, or I'm not that good at math, he already knows that you don't think highly of yourself. So that you can just co-sign on whatever you're thinking, he can co-sign on that, and you can start to stay in a lower vibration or a lower sense of self-worth. Okay? The other thing, if you're saying things like, I'm dating for marriage, I'm dating with intention. First of all, every man knows that if you're dating for all of that. And if you feel like you have to say it, He knows that you're desperate for it. You're desperate to be chosen. You're desperate to be in a relationship and to be married. Don't say those things. Also, don't talk about your healing journey. Everyone's healing, right? But if you're talking about your healing journey, he's going to take it as, oh, you must have really gone through some stuff. So you're going to be open to going through some stuff some more. So let's also talk about the physical, okay? So if you're around a guy and you start fidgeting with your clothes, right? It means that you're trying to look good for him, that he already has control over you. Or if, for example, and I'm a girl's girl, but I want to put you on here. If I see more skin than clothes, he knows that you're thirsty for attention, and that if he gives it to you, you're going to be putty in his hands. Okay? The other thing is, if you don't feel good about your body, if you're super tall or maybe you're thicker, a lot of those women, or even super skinny, right? You'll try to be small, right? And your posture will actually say a lot about you, and this is how the predators will target you. Okay? So that's the physical part. Now, let's talk about your actions. Don't chase. Don't initiate texts. Don't initiate calls, because you're chasing him. And when you chase him, he already knows that he has you. Okay? This is like catnip for predators. Now, I hope this is really helpful for you, and let me know if you have any other kind of telltale signs for a predator while you're dating. But I will tell you this, and this is the work that I do in my program with my ladies. All of this is related, especially if you're a Black or brown woman, to a mother wound. And that your definition of love, your bonding pattern, if you have a highly critical and judgmental mother, hits each and every one of these things. So if you want to learn how to do it differently, definitely book a call with me, but understand that if you don't, that's fine too. We've got to really heal that mother wound. I hope this helps.
Inside every provider, there is a predator. So the dark masculine, the predator energy, is an essential energy in the man. It is absolutely essential. All men should have this. If your man doesn't have any predator energy, you probably don't trust him. And the reason you don't trust him is because you don't trust that if a mouse came into your house or an intruder, that he would be able to protect you. So the predator energy is the energy that gives a man the ability to go hunting. It gives the man the ability to take a bullet for you. It gives the man the ability to tackle down a man that's trying to attack you. Okay, so this is very essential.
Certain people only do certain things to people they think they can get away with. That's why abusers only pick certain people that they can abuse, because they know they will get away with it. Predators know how to choose their victims. So you need to take a hard look in the mirror and ask, why was I the victim? What about me, my personality, my spirit made me seem like I was a victim to them, like that they can prey upon me? You need to think about it. You need to reevaluate it. And you need to get whatever it is, take it off of you and leave them behind. Take it as a learning lesson. Move from it, grow from it. But do not accept their apology. Do not allow that person to walk into your life and start messing it up again, because they will.
Hi everybody, Lori Fulbright here. I have been a crime reporter for 32 years, and for most of my career I give 150 personal safety, crime safety speeches every single year. And one of the questions I get asked most at my speeches is, how do criminals pick their victims? And I see a lot of things online that say, oh, they want tall, they want short, they want blonde, they want someone with a ponytail. But that's not my experience. Now, I have covered a few serial rapists that have a type, but by and large, the ones that I interview or the ones that I cover are looking for an easy target. And so they're not looking for someone who is a hard target. They're looking for someone who is distracted, looking in their phone, looking down. They are not paying attention. They look like they would be vulnerable and do exactly what they say, which is they want it to be quick and they want it to be quiet. And I interview a lot of criminals who say, Lori, when I tell a victim to do something, I expect they're going to do exactly what I say. So they kind of expect us to be a lamb to slaughter. So I tell people, you need to look like you're a hard target, not an easy target. And that means not being distracted, looking around, paying attention, having your head up, looking people in the eye, speaking when you see them. Afternoon, how you doing? How's it going? I was at a trial once covering these armed robbers, and it was a really interesting insight into how they picked their victim that day. And the first guy they saw was mowing his yard, an older gentleman, and he had his wallet, kind of checkbook sticking out of his back pocket. So they parked the car. One guy gets out, puts the gun in his waistband under his shirt, and he's walking up to that guy to rob him. And the guy turns off the mower mower and says, hello, how can I help you? What's up? And the guy decided, no, that's not the guy. So he gets back in the car, and then they drive by a high school, and they see a high school girl coming out, and she's got a really nice designer purse and backpack. So they decide, okay, she's the one. And so he gets out again, has the gun, in his waistband under his shirt, and goes up to her, and she looks him in the face. Afternoon, how's it going? What's up? And he's like, no, she's not the one. And then they're driving around and they see Michelle, and she's got a toddler with her and an infant in a carrier, and she's going into a clinic for free formula for her babies. And I'm sure she looked like an easier target to them. And they put the gun on her face and demanded her purse. The ladies in the clinic kind of saw her do this, not like she was actively resisting, but I'm sure she thought, I don't have much, but I need it. But they yanked that purse off of her, and they shot and killed her. And then when the ladies in the clinic were trying to run out and help with the babies, they fired shots at them too, but nobody was hit. But I had to listen to those guys testify in court, and when they opened Michelle's purse, she had less than $1 in it. But it was an interesting insight into what they're looking for. They are looking for an easy target. They are looking for someone who's walking around scared, not prepared, not with situational awareness. But here's what I also tell people. You can do everything perfectly right. You can have great situational awareness. You can look like you are a person to be reckoned with, a person with command presence, a person with authority as you're moving through your day. You can be a prepared mindset. You can have your plan for all these different events and practice your plans. You can do everything right and still encounter a criminal. That's just the world we live in, including me. I mean, it could happen to me as well. And at that point, then it becomes all about survival. Be safe out there.
Women with low self-esteem become target practice for men with predatory behavior. And I'm just going to say it. A lot of men are inherently predatory, meaning you are the prey. And what happens when you have low self-esteem or low self-value, you start to seek out the predator. And what you're not understanding is men will use you for target practice, just for fun. Especially if you're the type of woman that's typically out of their reach, they will initially approach you with predatory tactics to see what itches your brain just right. Because the longer you stay in a place where your self-esteem is low and you're dating, you're going to attract the same type of person who itches your brain just right. And once they find that spot, they are going to continue to reinforce that until they get what they need from you. So if you have low self-esteem and you can't understand why, figure that out. Get out of dating, take a break, whether that be 3 months, whether that be 6 months, a year, 2 years. You need to get to the bottom of that reason. You absolutely do not want to get comfortable in that space. Trust me.
Instead of trying to diagnose whether he's a narcissist or whether he is a user or whether he doesn't want you or whether he's this one, that one, the other one, turn it this way. The type of person that he is can only be attracted to the polarity of who you are. So a user can only be attracted to those who are easily used, who don't put themselves first, who have no self-esteem. A narcissist can only be attracted to those who will buy into their narcissistic traits and habits. You need to understand that instead of sitting around trying to diagnose him, trying to see what he is, you need to first decide who you want to be, because there is absolutely no possible way that if you work on yourself and become the type of person that you want to be, that you would attract the type of person that you suspect that he currently is.
After dating a man 13 years older than me, I'm a firm believer that older men go for younger women because they know a woman their age will see through the BS.
I feel like we're all old enough and wise enough to know this by now, but the idea that older men are biologically determined to be attracted to only younger women as a matter of fertility and producing offspring is absolute bollocks. Hi, if this is your first time seeing me, I'm Katie, your friendly neighbourhood social scientist and host of the History podcast, Who Did What Now? I just had a man try to argue with me that older men who focus on dating young women and girls are not in fact predators, they're just victims of biology. His argument being that it's a matter of fertility and it's about producing as many healthy heirs and offspring as possible. But from a biological perspective, this simply does not make sense. See, we know that it's not the eggs that degrade in quality over time, but the sperm. And so from their mid-30s, men are producing lower quality sperm, which just gets worse over time. but the quality of eggs produced are typically consistent. And if this is specifically about fertility, and it is biologically innate, then men would only be stimulated and aroused and attracted to their partners during that 7-ish day period of their cycle in which they are fertile. So to conclude, it's not about biology, you're just a creep.
I've talked to a lot of pedophiles about how they got to their victims. Here's one example. One person said that he started by watching the school. He wanted to see who the child went to. Was it a nanny? Was it a parent? Were they late? Were they on time? What was the car they drove? He followed them back to their home, and then he watched the behaviors there from a distance. Were the kids allowed to play outside? How often did the parents check on them? He followed them to their nearby park. Did they go alone? Did they get to stay there for long periods? How often was mom or dad or nanny looking? How friendly were the kids? When another kid was mean to them, or if another kid bit them, did they scream or were they quiet? Did they return to their parent or did they hide? Did they fight back? He was looking for the victim and how taking that victim would play out. Would the child scream or would they comply? He assessed their interests. Are they wearing clothing with puppies or kittens on it? Do they have a dog or a cat? Do they like candy? What kind of snacks are they eating? What can I offer this child so that they will be pulled away from their parent quickly and I can take them? And it worked. He took many. He found the point of vulnerability in their routine and he took the children.
Most men choose their side chicks based on the morals and ethics of their mother's characteristic traits. Peep game. If his mother was any type of toxic growing up, if she was narcissistic, if she had low self-esteem, if he watched his mother manipulate, scam, and use and abuse people all week, if he watched his mother be a side chick, if he watched his mother get constantly cheated on and disrespected by his daddy, and then she would go to church every Sunday, he's watching his mother be one way behind closed doors, and he's watching her be a different person to the public. She's a fake and a fraud and a scammer. He may not like his mother's behavior. He may even resent her for being toxic and trifling and exposing him to that type of behavior his entire childhood. However, he has been groomed, he has been guilt-tripped to stay loyal to his mother despite her toxicity, despite her low standards, her low morals, her piss-poor, scandalous manipulation. She's a heathen. She's a fake Christian. He has been groomed and trained by his family. That's your mother. You only have one mother. You know, no matter what she does, she's only here for a certain limited time on earth. You are to respect her and love her no matter what. They have guilt tripped him to stay toxic and loyal to his abusive, trifling, weak ass mother. This woman with piss poor morals, this woman who's a fake church goer, a fraud, a scammer, a manipulator. She may have had multiple marriages. She may be a side chick. She may be sleeping with men in the church. She may let his daddy walk all over her. But the bottom line is she's a weak, pathetic woman. And he grew up watching her behavior, and therefore he has normalized her behavior. So to spite his mother, he will go out into the world and try to find a woman the total opposite of her. Because he too has picked up his mother's narcissistic traits. And if his father's a narcissist, he's definitely picked up his father's narcissistic traits. And one thing that narcissistic men are very good at is triangulation. And if you don't know what triangulation is, it means playing people against each other. So he's going to find a good girl like you to make his mama jealous and play y'all against each other. You are the good girl. You are there to help his image, his reputation look good. However, he cannot match you or meet your standards because he was raised by trash. But his side chick will have the same trifling characteristics as his mama because that's the behavior he normalized as a child.
Men are very aware of how they treat you. You think that you're like discreetly.
Men are not complicated. Our excuses for them are. These men who are stringing you along or disrespecting you know exactly what they are doing. It is not that they are incapable of having emotional intelligence or empathy, but that their poor behavior is usually being enabled by past partners who have accepted that treatment, and also most likely moms who still baby them. Do not forget that these are the same men who are clever enough to hide when they are cheating, or are aware enough to know which exes they can still text who will respond back to them. They know that they should have called you when they said they were going to. They know they should have made plans for your birthday. And they definitely know when you are allowing them to treat you with subpar behavior, which is also usually why they will continue to embarrass you after every single chance you give them. People will only disrespect you as much as you disrespect yourself, which is another reason why you need to continue to practice and build your self-love, because that is going to protect you from people who are willing to entertain you with no intention of investing in you. You need to value yourself enough to know that you deserve more than to rearrange your standards for someone who was never going to meet them in the first place.
Alright, we have come to the end of this video, and one thing I like about this conversation is you heard wise words from young, older, and advanced women, and including the man. I've been noticing him in relationship coach space. I've been saying I'm quite skeptical about men, because history has shown that most men, black men who talk smooth or know exactly what to say, sometimes they pander to women, right? They pander to us in order to also exhibit their predatory nature. You know about the what's the name of that guy with his wife with the armor of salvation variety to come to me very soon? Yeah, Derek Jackson. Because I also follow them once I noticed him, right? But sometimes one thing you have to understand is that even Derek Jackson, all the things he says were true. He was also pandering, and I feel like he even talked about himself. Most of the predators, most of the weird men he was talking about were about himself, and again, that leads us to the predatory nature of men. I like the way they drop wise nuggets. So it's for you also to understand that. I don't know if he's pandering or not, but even at that, even predators drop nuggets. So it's for you to eat the meat and spit out the bones. Take what works for you. And ladies, guide yourself, especially to young ladies. That's why I am passionate about this, right? To the young ladies there, protect your energy. These men are predators. And I know sometimes you feel like, you're young. Some of these older women, they probably are jealous of you. And yes, there's some older women who are quite jealous of your youth sometimes. Even those women are those women who are older but still in that young mindset, that pick me mindset, right? They are always pick me, is always going to act like a child. But I'm talking about sometimes some of these ladies who tell you, hey, look, I have passed this route, don't pass this route. A lot of times they're saying the truth, and you as a young lady, pay attention so you do not make those mistakes, okay? Because with a lot of things I did, even as a younger, till now, I still go for older men for reasons best known to me. And I know, yes, I'm a prey to them. And again, that's what informs my information, my knowledge. I'm out of the dating scene. I've been out of the dating scene for a while, right? But it informs my choosing selection to know that, okay, if I'm choosing an older man, aside from being matured mentally, because most of these older men, they're actually children. They are weak, including their first wife or their second wife did not build them in. Like, most men, their characters are developed by women. So when I say did not build them, I know what I'm saying. A lot of women are above the builders, okay? So sometimes throughout the years of experience, they probably did not learn better. Probably still that predators, right? So it's on me now to realize these people recognize my youth. And ladies, also young ladies, recognize your youth is a commodity. Your beauty is a commodity. And should you choose to entertain any man, know that these men are hunters. And if they sniff out that you're weak, right, and see that, and if they sniff out that they can abuse and use you, they will. So understand that, have that knowledge and act accordingly. Do not give yourself up. Don't allow a man who is useless, who will not bring any value to you, who does not respect you or even care about you. Do not give them the privilege of being in your space, because a lot of men are energy vampires. And you don't want to now be, when you're not that older woman, you get the experience that those older women are telling you to learn from. You don't want to reach that point and realize that most men have taken out of your energy without depositing much. Some of them just give you a little bit of stipends money, and all money are not good money regardless. So thanks for watching. If you watch this moment, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to any younger ones, any younger girl, lady who has come of age and feel like there's some nuggets they need from you. Share it with them. Thank you. Bye.